Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. It's me, Nosy, and I felt to do something a little different. Now, I don't think I've actually gone into Transformers... Oh, excuse me. I don't think I've gone into Transformers this deep before, and talking about this subject. I don't know whether I've kind of spoken about it in response to people's questions, and I maybe have a little bit. I haven't made a actual video dedicated talking about this subject before. If anybody wants to get involved in this as a response, please do. I'd love to hear everyone else's opinion, and that'd be awesome. But anyway, so the tagline, the headline, the title is "What Makes Transformers So Special?" So, let us go back to 1996-97, when I was only 6 years old, going on to 7 years old. And those were the days, people. They were the days. Except for school. I hated school for many reasons that I will not go into in here. Watching kids' cartoons on a... I think there was something on during the week as well, if I can remember rightly, and it was either just before or something with GMTV where they did kind of a kid like cartoon segment. I think during the week before kids went to school, or it was more of a weekend thing. I think there was a weekend schedule as well with GMTV and CITV in the back then when it was very, very young CITV. Basically, Beast Wars was the first thing. Many of you already know about Beast Wars. I'm not going to go into the massive thing about Beast Wars, but Beast Wars is my G1 because basically any iteration of the Transformers timeline or continuity, it is at least somebody's G1. So Beast Wars is my jam. It's my G1, and it's the first version of the Transformers brand. Now, I didn't realise it was Transformers when I was that young. I remember just seeing Beast Wars, and there was just these big dinosaurs and insects and mammals and gorillas and T-Rex and all sorts of different things transforming into robots. Now, at the time, I thought it was just phenomenal. When you're that young, 6 or 7 years old, it really left an impression on me, and it still does now. Moving swiftly on, then we move into the original 2001 Robots in Disguise, and that was my second kind of series that when I was a little bit older. So I would have been, when that came out, I'd have been about 11 or 12 when the original, I'd have been 11 when that came out. And then moving on to the Unicron trilogy, which I actually quite enjoyed, Armada and Cybertron. I don't think I watched that much of Energon, but I'm not really missing much because it was kind of terrible what I did see of it, because I was old enough to understand what was rubbish and what was good, in my opinion. But anyway, so then obviously, you know, animated, and then animated got me back into Transformers and collecting. That's when my collecting started, and then obviously the movies really got me back. The 07 movie really got me excited for the Transformers brand. And obviously now to Bumblebee, so that's up to present. Getting to the question there is basically what makes Transformers so special to me. Well, it's interesting because Transformers is such an interesting subject. Now that's a very, very mundane response to that question, but it is a very interesting concept where whatever, like me, obviously I was Beast Wars to begin with, but looking at it as a continuity, looking at the whole universe as a whole, it is an interesting concept. I mean, I love the idea of animals and all sorts transforming. I think that's a really cool concept. But when it comes to trucks and airplanes and motorbikes, that is also very, very cool. Now, obviously, you know, it's just a mind-boggling franchise and concept that obviously came originally from Japan. Hasbro brought it over to America, and Bob Budiansky and many others kind of working on bios for the first time, because obviously back in Japan they didn't have personalities and bios, as we all know. They were known as diaclones. But yeah, it's just an interesting, brilliant concept that just swept the world by storm, and such a brilliant idea. But getting to why I love it so much as well, to kind of put a bit more of a thingy explanation to it, it's just, it's something that's just stuck with me throughout my life. It's just, as soon as I saw Beast Wars, which was, again, the first thing, as soon as I saw Beast Wars and then saw everything else, and then obviously I then went, when I was a bit older, I then discovered, well actually, it was G2, because G2 re-aired in the late 90s, early thousands on Jetix or Fox Kids back in the day, and I actually got introduced by G1 via the G2 remaster, with the whole new introduction and stuff. So I got introduced to G1 through the G2 re-airing and everything. So when Google and YouTube was very, very young, which was like back in 05, 06, is when I started, and I made a YouTube channel back in 2006. And but yeah, when I was like looking around, and I saw, obviously I knew Cartoon Network, Transformers Animated was on TV, and Cartoon Network and everything, and I was watching Animated and I loved it, absolutely loved Animated, and I was just like, wow, I just got this like a static thing right down my spine, and the hairs just stood up on end, and I was just like, wow, this is Transformers again, this is great. But like I say, I never really picked up many of the comic books. The comic book side has never really been my thing, even though I did enjoy the Last Stand of the Wreckers. That's the only the comic book series I've actually read. But yeah, it's just Transformers, what it means to me, or what I love about it is just this amazing concept of switching, mass shaping vehicles and cars and planes and motorbikes and boats and ships and all sorts, and it's just, wow, what an idea. And obviously Bob Budiansky and the rest of the team that were developing in the comic books and everything, and then and obviously when it came over to America and they were starting to really develop it into a toy line and give them personalities and bios and such, they did a fantastic job with creating these interesting personalities. Each one of the Autobots and Decepticons, every single one of them had their own personality. They weren't exactly the same. Some of them were really, like obviously the Autobots obviously had Optimus Prime, who is courageous, brave, and he's kind of like the big brother to the rest of his comrades, and he's also a really great combatant. But obviously, Optimus Prime Optimus Prime. He's like a god, isn't he? Really, with the whole Matrix of Leadership thing, he is literally pretty much a god, really. In how strong he is, and how all the other Autobots and everything look up to him, and his respect for all sentient beings and everything is a great, cool thing. And he promotes a very good message to kids. Not everyone likes Optimus Prime, because some people find him a bit boring, because he's kind of always about the rules and always about the good, and some people don't like that. Some people like to have that reckless character that is kind of in between. They understand respect and that, but they kind of like that kind of renegade kind of character. And I love renegade characters. I love characters that are kind of their own thing. They're not to a faction, or to a side. They're their own thing. So like Lockdown, for instance, I love Lockdown. His concept is amazing. Lockdown is awesome because he's not a Decepticon, he's not an Autobot, he's a bounty hunter, he's his own thing. And he just travels around the universe gathering trophies. So it's pretty much kind of like the Transformers version of the Predator, where they go from planet to planet, galaxies, universes, or whatever, and the Predator kind of collects all these skulls and artifacts, and he kind of they kind of collect these things as kind of like a trophy of their kills and where they've been and different species and such. And so kind of like Lockdown, there's that kind of concept about how the Predator works, but he's kind of going around. Basically, I think he's kind of in contract to a point with the Quintessons at some point as well, and kind of tracking down certain people, and also he works for other alien races as well that need assistance and track someone down, etc. But he's just an awesome character. But yeah, but like I said, you got like with personalities, you got Lockdown, who is his own bot. He doesn't give a crap about what Megatron thinks or what anyone else thinks, and he don't give a crap what Optimus and the Autobots think. He's his own bot. He lives by his own rules, and he lives by his own agenda. And then you got like the rest of the Autobots. You got Bumblebee, who is just this. Well, to begin with, he's originally a scout, and he's this interesting little bot who is loyal to his comrades, loyal to Optimus. But he's a very good scout. He's a very good scout. He's good at doing his spying kind of missions to kind of get intel on the Decepticons. You go to the Decepticon side, you've got Megatron, and he's just a bastard. But a very, very someone that you can really kind of think, I freaking love Megatron. You can't not like Megatron. He's awesome. Soundwave, my boy. I'm wearing a t-shirt. Soundwave is literally my favourite Decepticon and favourite Cybertronian, Transformer, whatever. He is my favourite character, next to Starscream. Yeah, it's just brilliant. But yeah, I'm going to bring this to an end because I think I'm kind of like racking my brains on the stuff what I can talk about Transformers, but I'm pretty sure many other people will come up with a much better response to why Transformers is such a cool thing. But, basically, let's just put it this way. Chris McFeely is doing a bang-up job with his kind of his history on certain characters and the mythos and the basically the background and the history of the whole Transformers thing. And I would suggest checking out, if you haven't seen Chris McFeely's videos, please go and check them out. They are freaking amazing. Starting off with Beast Wars and then going through everything that came after that, and then checking out G1 and G2 first, and then when it was re-aired, and then obviously checking out the True Thing G1 when I was about 15, 16, about that. And then I found out about Auto Assembly. And then pretty much Transformers has really, in a nutshell, has changed my life for the better. I do believe that. Some people will be like, really? It's just a toy line. How's it changed your life for the better? It's because it's given me some really great friends, and it's with kind of discovering through Sami, Skullgrin, and mainly Sami, because he was the one that told me about Auto Assembly back in the day, and through him and through Jared and a few other people that shared my original channel and got me noticed in the fan base and the collective, the toy collectors in the UK and everything. I really do hold a lot of regard and respect to the Transformers brand, because it brought me together with a lot of awesome people, and it got me introduced through Transformers and going to conventions as well and meeting other fans. I've made some great friendships, and yeah, it's great. It's freaking brilliant. Just wanted to just sit down a minute and talk about Transformers at length. I don't think I've ever properly done that. I've only spoken about it here and there in reviews and when I've been covering a certain topic, but it's just Transformers, man. It's Transformers. It's brilliant. Like, subscribe for more, and I'll be back with more reviews in the coming days. Peace. Thank you very much. And also, thank you for the recent subscribers. I've gone up by 2 since I made that Help Get Me to 300 video. Thank you very much to the brand new subscribers. I hope you enjoy what I make, and future stuff. Please, get me to 300 and I've got a special review planned. That'd be awesome. See you soon.